How do you get your first cleaning clients if you don't have any money? So getting a business up and running and getting those first few clients is difficult enough, especially so if you don't have much in terms of money to invest. However, the good news is that in this industry, there are effective ways to get new cleaning clients for free. And that is what I'm going to cover off in this video. So let's get started. So first of all, friends and family. Many people don't leverage this enough. You know, the people that are going to be gunning for your success, particularly at the beginning, and those people that will be pushing you on to succeed will likely be your friends and family. So if you ask for their help, they're likely going to try to help as much as they can. So the thing to do when you are setting up in your business is, if it was me and I was starting again, I would contact all my close friends and family individually. I wouldn't send out a blast email or a blast text to let them know you're setting up a new business. I would call every single one of them and ask them if they have a cleaner at the moment. Do they have friends or family that use cleaners, or people that might be looking for cleaners? And what you want to do is also provide them with a coupon code. So if your friend Angela has, friends and family that she thinks might be interested in your service, tell her, okay, get them to use the coupon code Angela20, when they book service with you, and that will give you $20 off. And what you can also do is tell your friend, okay, if someone books with your code, we'll give you money as well. So hopefully your friends and family will want to help you anyway, but this just gives them an additional incentive to do that. So I would contact all your friends and family individually, speak to them, tell them that you're setting up your business, and use these coupon codes. And you want to do this not only at the very beginning of your business, but maybe after a few months, or 3 or 6 or 9 months, because people can forget. And this will just really help get your business up and running. Point 2 is then the Facebook groups. So wherever you're based around the country or around the world, there will be local Facebook groups for your city, for your town, and in particular, the parents groups, the mums groups are the ones that I think are most interesting, because what you find is that lots of families, need help at home, need cleaning the home, tidying the home, because those clients are busy looking after the family. So what you tend to find is that in many of these local groups, people will be asking and posting for recommendations of cleaning companies. And if you can go into those groups and respond, not to pitch too hard, not to be too salesy, but just to tell them, yes, we are a local cleaning business. We work with families in the area. This is a link to our website. Let us know if we can help. Often what you find is that if you're not being too pushy, too salesy, but a bit more stem backish, then people will be happy to get in touch with you. So what you want to do is jump on Facebook and do a search for all the if you say you're based in San Francisco, you could put mums groups in San Francisco, and there will be a list of mums groups in that area, and you'll be able to see the number of members in each. And what you want to do is to join those groups, starting at the largest, going down. Many of them will have some questions. They'll ask, if you're local to the area, if you're a parent. Obviously, if you are a parent, then that will help you get in. Not every single group will let you in, because obviously lots of these groups are a little bit careful about who they bring in. You want to be very upfront and honest. Tell them that you are a cleaning business. Tell them that you work with local families in the area. You're not going to pitch, but and understand that families do need help. And when those posts and questions come through, at that point, you will then respond to them. And what you'll find is, as I said, not every single group will let you in, but lots of them will let you in. And once you're part of these groups, it then becomes a case of checking in those groups every day. You can do a keyword search within the group, and you can search for cleaners or maid service or housekeepers, and any posts that have come up in that day, will show up. Obviously, the larger groups, the more active groups, will probably have more cleaning related posts in there. And as I said, what you want to do is just respond, maybe drop a coupon code, Facebook20, and people can use that to get money off, but importantly, it allows you to track these efforts, because you want to try to see how many leads are coming through Facebook groups as opposed to all your other channels. So do this. Very, very effective strategy. whether you are starting out in business or whether you are generating lots and lots of revenue. So point 3 is then partnerships. So partnerships take a bit of time to get up and running, but the great thing about a partnership is that once it is in place, that partner will likely just send you referrals forever into the future. And when I talk about partnerships, I'm thinking about you as the house cleaning business partnering up with other companies that offer a complementary service. So when I talk about complementary services, I'm thinking about things that are relatively close to what you offer. So let's say you are a house cleaning business, but you don't do window cleaning. Maybe you approach all the local window cleaning companies in your area, or maybe you don't offer carpet cleaning. You approach those companies. Maybe dry cleaners would be another adjacent. So companies that offer not the same service as yours, but a relatively similar one, they could be good potential partners, because what you'll find is that those clients who use a dry cleaner or who use a window cleaner probably will be already using a house cleaning business, or maybe they are very interested in doing that. So if you can somehow get in front of those other clients and introduce what you do, then that can be a really great source of client leads. So with the partnership arrangement, you want to basically go in and again use a coupon code as a way to incentivize them to work with you or incentivize their behavior. So let's say you approach the company ABC Window Cleaning. So you could approach the owner of that business and introduce your company and tell them, would you be interested in working on a partnership? You're a high quality house cleaning business, but we're always looking to add in new customers. If we gave you this coupon code and you shared it with your clients, not only would they get money off, but we would be able to track every single booking, and you could give that window cleaning company a dollar amount for every single client that has signed up. And the reason why this is such a attractive pitch is that bar sending an email or sending a text to their window cleaning clients, it is free money. If you're paying them for every single client that is signed up, it's additional revenue for that window cleaning company. And from your side, it's also a great channel because you don't need to put any money out. You only pay the window cleaning company money if they refer a client and that client books service with you. So again, a very effective free way of getting new client leads coming into your business. So look at your immediate area, look at all these complementary services, come up with a shortlist and systematically go through all the companies in your list. As I said, not every single person you will speak to will want to become a partner, but even if you only get a small number, a handful of partners, once they are in place, they should hopefully send you leads continually into the future. So I hope you've been finding the content helpful so far. If you are, please like and subscribe. Really helps me. Let's jump on to point 4. So point 4 is then LinkedIn. LinkedIn, for those of you that don't know, is essentially the main social network in the business world. So business to business, most people will be on LinkedIn. And the reason why LinkedIn is such a powerful platform is that, you can very easily see all the local businesses within your area. And, by sending a connection request, you can connect with those people. You can obviously see the specific person that runs that division in those companies. You can have a look at their profile to see what they've been posting and things like that. So it's a great way to initiate contact with someone that you don't already know. So following on from the previous point, if you are developing partnerships, a very obvious way to go would be to go into LinkedIn and type in window cleaners in San Francisco, and it'll show all the window cleaners, all the business owners. You can see all the people there, and you can contact those people individually. You might contact them through LinkedIn, or you might contact them, giving them a call or sending them an email. But either way, it's a really effective way to search for these local businesses in your area. So not only does LinkedIn allow you to identify these complementary services, it will also allow you to contact other interesting companies as well. And in particular, I'm thinking about property managers, people who run businesses or people who manage properties on behalf of other people. one of the main things that they will be doing as property managers is making sure those properties are clean. Maybe only have 1 or 2 properties, but many of them will have lots and lots of properties. So if you can initiate contact with one of those people and become one of their cleaning company vendors, then you get access to lots and lots of properties. And if you do a good job, then you will continue to clean for those companies in the future as well. So LinkedIn is completely free to use. Again, it takes a bit of time to find these people, connect with these people. And there is a skill about how you connect with people that you haven't spoken to before. But LinkedIn is another really, really powerful way to do it. In particular, I like the fact that when you jump onto LinkedIn and find a particular person, you can see what types of things that they've been posting about. You can have a look at their descriptions, see what things are interest to them, and you can tailor your initial messages in that way. It really just helps to increase the likelihood of you being able to build a relationship with those people. So LinkedIn, super powerful. Spend a bit of time to get to know how that platform works, and it can be a really, really effective channel for you. Number 5 is then Google SEO. This is my favorite. As many of you will know, I talk about Google marketing extensively on my channel. I think the very best way to get cleaning clients is through Google. People ultimately will Google a cleaning service if they're really, really serious about wanting to hire a company. So that's why I believe that you want to really maximize your visibility on page 1 on Google. So page 1, consists of, a couple of different areas. Really, you have the paid marketing side, which is the Google Ads platform and the Google Local Service Ads platform. That is a pay-to-play service. Every time someone clicks on an ad on Google Ads, you have to pay for that. If you buy leads through Google LSA, obviously there is a dollar amount that you need to spend. However, on the other side, Google SEO, you can effectively do this yourself. You can do certain tasks and activities that will increase the likelihood of your business ranking higher up in the rankings. And as we know, if you are higher up on page 1, then you will get more visibility for searches like cleaning companies in San Francisco. And if you get more visibility, more clicks, you'll get more leads and clients. So as I said, SEO, you can do lots of these things yourselves. Obviously, if you want to do it seriously, then it's worth thinking about working with an agency who can do that properly for you. But there's a few basic things that you can do with your SEO that won't cost you any money. So first of all, if you have a website, we talk about this extensively. Google loves content. Google loves new content. So make sure that when you have your website, let's say you're a cleaning business in San Francisco, or it doesn't matter where it is around the country, type that into Google, have a look at all the results on that first page, and see, what do their websites look like. Have an idea of, how many words there are on the first page. Have a look at, how the site has been structured. What service pages do they have? What location pages do they have? And you want to basically use your content strategy in a similar way. So if if all the home pages on page 1 have 1,000 words on page 1, it probably makes sense for you to also have 1,000, maybe even more than 1,000 words on page 1. So create your initial website and look at your competitors and try to replicate both the content as well as the site structure as well. So in particular, the home page is important. The other thing that is a really effective way to capture SEO is also to build out 2 specific things on your site structure. So the first of all is the service pages. So let's say you are abcmaidservice.com, that's your home page, but you may also want to build out separate service pages for all the different services that you offer. So let's say you offer post-construction cleaning, and maybe you offer a weekly service, and maybe you offer deep cleans. Each of those 3 services, you want to have 1 page on your website just talking specifically about post-construction cleaning, specifically about recurring cleaning, specifically about move in, move out cleaning. And the reason for that is that the more targeted one particular page is around a keyword, the more likely it is to rank in your Google organic listings. So this is something that people and companies that are ranking do widely. So think about your service pages in that way. You want to build out your service pages like this. The other thing and the other way to get success with Google SEO is to build out your location landing pages as well. So wherever you're based around the country, you'll have your main town, your main city, but within those areas you will likely have certain boroughs, certain areas, so you can break out that big location into certain specific locations. And in exactly the same way, you want to create location pages for each of those individual boroughs. Go with the most populated, the biggest ones first, and then go down the list. And in exactly the same way with your service pages, if Google sees that you have a page on your website that talks just about house cleaning in this specific area of San Francisco, you're likely to be able to rank for that term above someone who has a website that just talks about San Francisco more generally. And the reason why I really like this process and this strategy is that with the big cities, they're often extremely competitive. All the big companies will be going after that service plus main city keyword. But if you break out the locations in this specific way, there will be less competition for those specific boroughs because there's less search volume, and it allows you to start ranking for all these locations quicker. And then ideally what will then happen is that as you start ranking for all these areas and boroughs around your main location, that will start to boost up your main city as well. So Google SEO, you can do lots of this stuff yourself. It's a really effective strategy. In this next video, I'm going to give you a bit more color about how SEO works, how you can get started, how you can do some of these things yourself. So I'll see you on the next one.